Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Spy Wednesday, the Wednesday of Holy Week, and today I am joined by Erika. So,
Hey guys.
welcome. I told you yesterday that she would be here, and luckily for all of us, she is here today. So,
Glad I showed up.
that's right. Yesterday, without you knowing it, yesterday I said you will be in that chair. So today is known as Spy Wednesday. This is where we get the scene in the Gospel of Judas going to the high priest and saying, "What are you willing to give me if I hand him over to you?" And they're like, 30 pieces of silver. He's like, "Deal, let's do it." Our first reading is from Isaiah. We heard this one on Sunday. I have given you a well-trained tongue. I will turn my back. I have given my back to you. They'll pluck my beard. All of those things. So we're familiar with that. And then the gospel, like I said, it starts with Judas going out and doing this. And then when it talks about the Feast of the Unleavened Bread, that Jesus begins to tell them that there's going to be one of you that betray me. And they all say, it's not me, it's not me, it's not me. Until finally it gets to Judas. And he says, it's not me. And Jesus just says, you say so. And I can't imagine a more... it's not like sarcastic, but it's just not. He's like frustrated. He's like,
Yeah.
you say so. He's like, oh, go do what you have to do and just go.
Mm-hmm. Like anticipating it, but not any sort of good anticipation. Just like knowing what's to come. And I can't imagine at least personally, whenever I hear that, it's almost like my stomach drops. And I'm like, did he experience any of that?
Right. Like I wonder with Judas must have thought he was doing the right thing at some point during all of this, but I don't know how you could do that. Right? Like he traveled with Jesus. He watched Jesus heal people. He watched Jesus perform these miracles. He was there when Lazarus is resurrected. Like. He witnessed all these things and then still thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to the high priest who can't stand you and be like, so let's work out a deal here. Right? And Jesus must have known that. Right? It says in the Gospel of John that the devil had already entered into Judas's heart. And then he says that you're going to betray me. And then they all go, you say so, or, I'm not going to do that. And then when it finally gets to Judas, it's like, I can't imagine what was going through Judas's head as he says, I would never do that. Mm-hmm. Definitely not me. And then Jesus' response of, you say so, like how that would have made Judas feel.
Yeah. Yeah, and like you said, like wondering if he assumed he was doing the right thing. Like, I think it kind of makes me go into, I think initially whenever you hear that, you portray or you picture him as like this bad guy, this bad character, but then part of me also wants to get in his head and be like, what were you misunderstanding? I mean, we know, but even putting that in like a more like modern sense now, and people who are so angry against the Catholic faith or have that sense of betrayal, and we come at it with more of like anger and things like that. But now looking at this gospel and thinking like we kind of have to change the way we look at it now and be like, okay, what are you misunderstanding?
Right.
Where are you?
What is
the root of your confusion?
Yeah.
That we can change it. And I think a lot about his lack of understanding of forgiveness. Like it was a lot of betrayal. It was a lot of rejecting what he had seen and known.
Yeah.
But I also think it comes down a lot to just the fact that he didn't understand God's mercy at all.
Yeah, I almost wonder if, we've talked so many times about the Jewish people were looking for a messianic figure who was going to be like a army general, somebody that was going to come in and wipe out the Romans who they thought were oppressing them in so many ways. And so I almost wonder if Judas believed the same thing, that Jesus was not actually the Son of God, that he was just a person who was performing miracles in God's name. Mm-hmm. If Judas didn't fully believe what was happening, like what he was witnessing. Mm-hmm. I also think of, when I think of this reading, I think of a couple of years ago, we definitely had some hard times in the Diocese of Dallas with some different things that were going on. And Bishop Burns started to use the phrase a lot, like you don't You don't stop following Jesus because of Judas. And I think that's the thing, is like, if we have those moments in our lives, or in our hearts, or we have one of those family members, or even a friend that has gotten to the point where they reject the Catholic Church or the teachings of the church, or they're angry at the church, none of us should give up on the church. If you're mad at priests or lay people or whoever it might be that are in leadership roles, even, they are not Jesus. They are not the reason to run away from a relationship with Jesus Christ. I also wonder why Judas would give up a friend for 30 pieces of silver. Like, I can't think of a relationship that I have with a friend or a loved one that I'm like, this is a monetary amount that I am willing to betray them for.
Yeah, and that's what draws me so much to what made you think you were doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And kind of getting in that mindset.
Yeah. So a lot to reflect on today with Spy Wednesday and Judas's betrayal, and maybe some of those places in our own hearts that we're rejecting Jesus. Be sure to join us again tomorrow as we really get into what's known as the Triduum, the 3 great days. This is Holy Thursday, Good Friday, and Easter Saturday, the Easter Vigil, that we'll be getting into over the next couple days. Erica and Chelsea and Andrew will be here with me for those as well. So we ask that you continue to join us. Please continue to pray for us here at All Saints, and know that we are praying for you as well. God bless.